Welcome to the podcast. My name is Max.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Mae, and we were had. Can you believe it?
There are twists and there are turns.
Defleshed is a standard death.
Oh, that's fun.
We were had.
We were.
Okay. Hi, guys. How are we doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, we're good. Today we are talking about Michael Malloy, a.k.a. the Irishman in the Bronx that could not be murdered, a.k.a. the durable man, Iron Mike, or the man who would not die.
Iron Mike.
Iron Mike.
That's a good one.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prison Mike.
Prison Mike. Hi. Nice to meet you.
What was the worst?
Mike. No, that's Date Mike.
Yeah. What was the worst part of them trying to kill you? The Dementors.
The Dementors.
Oh,
Great show. Oh my God. Okay, so this is an insane tale start to finish. So this guy survived like basically a million murder attempts. I'll get into a few of the specific ones. I read on one article 20 murder attempts, another one only 5. So somewhere between that. That's a big delta, but a lot of murder attempts.
What
is
time
the point.
period?
We're talking the 30s.
Okay.
Turn of the century.
Whoa. End of Prohibition.
Prohibition.
Kind of plays into this.
Yeah.
And are we going to get into why people would try to murder him so many times? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Because he's Irish, no?
Yeah. They need not live. So
Big part of it.
but yeah, basically like the real like mystery, to stay on theme of this podcast, is that we're like, how the hell did he survive this long and this many attempts, basically? Because he does end up dying in the end.
People
but
in the 30s are bad at murdering.
I don't know, man.
We've been over a few. I beg to differ. No?
They're good at murdering?
Well, we've had some 30s. Have we done much from the 30s? Maybe we haven't.
The 30s.
Black Dahlia is a little later.
Yeah, there were no murders
Whatever.
in the 30s.
Yeah, no. The axe murderer was in the 30s, wasn't he?
Of New Orleans?
Yeah.
Of New Orleans?
Of New Orleans. Okay, so Michael Malloy, he was born 1873 in Northern Ireland, and he moved to NYC in the early 1920s. So that would make him, in his like late 40s?
From Ireland.
From Ireland. He was a firefighter in Ireland, but then when he got to NYC,
And you said, where did he live? Turty, Turd, and Turd?
Turty, Turd, and Turd. Yeah. Yes, he lived on Turty, Turd, and Turd in Midtown. No, he lived in the Bronx, though. But he had fallen on hard times and was unemployed, apart from the occasional odd job, and he was a severe alcoholic. Sorry to play into stereotypes, but it just is what it is. What?
You already said he's from Ireland.
Yeah, well, you said it. So, yeah, I mean...
What are we, 2 minutes in?
Got some cutting to do.
So Michael, this was obviously during the Prohibition, and he would drown his sorrows at a lot of local speakeasies with the occasional unsavory characters because it was illegal at the time.
Right.
So Michael Malloy was a regular at Tony Marino's bar at 3804 3rd Avenue in the Bronx.
3804.
3804.
But Tony Marie. Okay.
Do they say 4 normally?
04. It's actually very American.
It's very proper.
4. Turty, Turd, and 4.
Where he'd drink until he passed out on his arse. But seriously, he would drink until he passed out.
Oh, okay.
That's
It
not
says
good.
it there.
That's not
Yeah, it was a problem.
Well, was it also partially because, you're drinking bathtub gin? Right?
Oh,
In
yeah.
the Prohibition?
I mean, yeah, a lot of like...
Moonshine.
Yeah, moonshine.
That's toilet wine.
Yeah, it's not good.
I could go for a drink, actually.
That would be great. That'd be lovely. I've had a stressful day.
You want something? I get you a claw or something.
Nah.
All right.
You got claw?
I got claws.
Would you
Yeah,
like a
okay.
cone?
Oh, you thought about it.
I did think about it.
I have a
Sounds
couple of Trulies in the bottom drawer. Those are chilled. The claws are warm.
Wouldn't hate that.
You want a Truly?
Should we?
Yeah, let's.
I mean, come on. We're talking about an alcoholic here. We might as well lean in.
Prohibition.
I guess, but then I feel like Truly is like so tame that maybe it's like he would.
I don't
hate
care.
it. We
He'd
can
make
put some
fun of
vodka
us.
in it. I can mix it. I got tequila. I got vodka.
I don't want that. I just want Truly.
All right, let me grab a couple Trulies. Talk amongst yourselves.
All right. Go
All
for
right.
It.
Well, are we going to... Should I just continue with the story while you go? Okay.
Yeah, we don't need Max. Yeah.
Okay, fine. So, all right, so this guy, Tony Marino, he's 27 at the time, and he really, he had a bunch of bootlegged whiskey, bootleg gin, stuff like that, but his bar was struggling big time, as many of them were, because a lot of bills went unpaid, because, he had a bunch of, seedy characers come through.
It was also illegal.
It was
bar
illegal.
was legal. Yeah.
So it's like, what are you going to do? Go to the police and be like,
right,
this guy ran out on his bar tab.
Yeah.
So anyway, so he noticed that like Michael Malloy would come in all the time, and he kind of like put him to work because he's like, okay, well, I mean, this guy's not going to pay his bill because he's a homeless man who comes in and is drinking. I believe the proper term now is unhoused, but I'm just not there yet.
I think we passed
in my vocabulary.
I think we passed the PC Rubicon a little while
You know
ago.
what?
Yeah.
Fuck it.
All right. So
Making just Irish drunk jokes and being like, but he was unhoused.
He was unhoused.
Unhoused. He was an Irish drunk, but he was unhoused.
Anyway, this homeless bum.
I was going to say if you wanted that citrus punch. Did you want citrus punch? We also have fruit punch and berry punch.
I'll take the citrus punch.
Well, that's this fucker.
I put my
All
lips
right,
on
never
that one.
mind.
I mean,
No, it's okay. What's the other one?
Fruit punch, berry punch.
I'll do the berry punch.
Berry punch.
Is that okay with you?
That's totally fine.
Thank
I wanted
you.
to try that fruit punch. I had my eye on that fruit punch.
All right.
new branding
Crack
from
these-
Truly.
Well, this is, I think.
Wow.
this is
Oh,
a
should we do
special
the
pack.
ad read? Should we do the ad read?
We
Yeah,
should do the ad
Truly. We're from Truly. If you're an Irish drunk McFuck, grab yourself a Truly.
Yeah, wean down from whatever
like
you're.
Fight Club, but worse.
Truly. It's basically water.
Truly,
Yeah.
don't get off. Don't go cold turkey.
Wow,
Make
this
the
has
middle
kind
of
a
Truly.
little bit of a bite to it.
A little bite. Let me see. Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah. A little strong.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can handle this truly.
5% alcohol. Jeez.
Jesus.
Right to the blood.
I'm trying.
Oh my God.
All right.
All right, so to catch you up to speed,
He's working and he's homeless.
He's working at the bar that he goes to, and he gets blackout drunk all the time. But what he's doing there is like sweeping and like basically just like mushing
He's
around.
cleaning
stuff.
up after himself.
Yeah, he's cleaning up for himself, and he's puking and then cleaning up his own puke, basically, and like stocking shelves and stuff like that. So nothing too serious. He's not getting paid for it. The only thing that he's getting in exchange is more alcohol. So he's happy with this situation.
Good deal.
Because
Sounds good for him.
he is a raging alcoholic, as previously discussed. So the bar is struggling, though, and it's slowly but surely going under. So
Right.
on the afternoon of July 1932, Malloy was drunk there, as usual, and Tony Marino, the owner of the bar, and his two friends, Francis Pasqua and Daniel Kreisberg, got an idea to make some quick cash.
Jew.
Are you thinking, yeah. Are you surprised that it's a Jew?
No, I mean that actually would make Jew, Italian, and Irish. That would be the
that's
working
true.
class 1930s
I know where
New
this
York.
joke goes, huh? They try to kill him, huh?
I was thinking Francis Pasqua sounded French. But
Oh, I thought it was
is that
Pasquale. You said Pasqua?
Pasqua.
That doesn't make sense to me. French doesn't make
Little
sense.
Frenchman.
French. Little tiny French boy.
Yeah.
Don't like that.
I don't like that either. I guess I don't care. But anyway, so they got an idea to make some quick cash. They were going to take out a life insurance policy on Malloy because they were like, yo, this guy is like 2 steps from dying anyway of an accidental death.
Oh.
So we're going to take
And no one will care. He doesn't have
and
family.
exactly,
Yeah.
which is so horrible, obviously. But they take out a life insurance policy on Malloy, and the plan is to help him drink himself to death and then cash in. So,
Drink
like you
himself-
said, he doesn't have any really like friends or family that they knew of. They didn't even know his age at the time, and so they were like, "This isn't someone who's going to be missed."
Right.
Which is, I mean,
Sad.
It's a special place in hell.
What, in the 30s, you could just take a life insurance policy on a stranger?
Yeah, well, I think they did a bunch of forgery about like their relationship to him or something like that. Yeah,
okay,
it was
that
like,
makes more sense.
yeah, it was a lot of things. So the way that they got this idea was because the prior year,
Why would you ever do anything legally in the 30s?
oh, you wouldn't. I
There's
mean, you could get away with
nothing trackable.
anything. Yeah.
How could you, if you got convicted of a crime in the 30s, you're stupid.
Oh, you're a fucking idiot. You'd have to be caught in the act.
They'd have to watch you do it. Otherwise, it's like, well, we've got no way of finding out who did this.
There's a really funny John Mulaney bit where like he's talking about like detectives in the 30s, and he's like, oh, someone in the other room is like, oh, there's the pool of blood in here, and they're like, wait, get out of here with that nonsense. I'm working on my hunch. That's so funny.
That's funny.
Okay.
Well, I guess I can't come up with a bit about it now.
No, I mean, maybe you could do something different and rip off Mulaney in that way, but I don't know.
No, I already have the cocaine problem. I can't rip him off with something else.
So the reason that they got this idea was because Tony Marino, he befriended a homeless woman the year before named Mabel Carson, and he had convinced her to take out a $2,000 life insurance policy and naming him as the beneficiary. And on a frigid night, he force-fed her alcohol, stripped off her clothing, doused the sheets and mattress with ice water, and pushed the bed underneath an open window. And so when obviously she died that night. Because
Wait, who did that to her?
Tony Marino, the owner of the bar.
Oh, this guy's awful.
So this is his. So Michael Malloy is his second victim by this, basically. So they're like, well, let's just kill off all these homeless people and do this like.
And so that first attempt was he got money from it.
He did.
Okay.
Because she died, and then the medical examiner comes over and was like, "Oh, it's just pneumonia. So I guess here's all your money." And it's like you think that she went to bed like that. They're like, "Wow, she's just drunk."
Well, actually.
So she got
So he got away with it. Okay.
He got away with it. So they're like, okay. And so Marino's like Michael Malloy, who looks about 60, even though apparently he was like a decade younger, but he was in like obviously terrible shape. He was like, he's going to be easy to kill, basically.
Mm-hmm. Huh, they were wrong.
They were so wrong about that. But anyway, so all the people that were at the bar were like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go in on this. So blah, blah, blah. The 5 men who are acquainted with Malloy was Tony Marino, Joseph Red Murphy, Francis Pasqua, Hershey Green. It's a fun name. Dan Kreisberg, and then petty criminals John McNally, Edward Tin Ear Smith, Tough Tony Bastone, and Joseph Maglione. And they were all dubbed later on by the media as the Murder Trust. But they all basically plotted out the death together.
So everybody in this bar where this guy goes every day was plotting to kill him.
Pretty much.
So he's sitting in a room full of people that are like, you know what, this fucker needs to go.
Absolutely, yeah. And like one of the saddest things is that this isn't in my notes, but I was listening to a podcast about it. Like from some accounts, it seemed like they made it seem like they were his friend, which is like
kind of like what we did with you.
Oh.
Jew and Italian.
You guys trying to kill me? Oh no. What's in this truly?
Don't
night.
give her the citrus. Citrus is mine.
The one that's okay.
We knew she'd choose berry.
So they all had different jobs. Murphy's job would be to identify the deceased Malloy as his next of kin. So basically that's how they would get all the beneficiary money, blah, blah, blah. And then they made up some other person named Nicholas Mallory, who was a fictitious person with 3 life insurance policies, each offering double indemnity, which I don't really know much about this kind of stuff. Essentially, if the plan was going to be successful to kill him, at the end, every member of the trust would receive about $65,000 worth of money in today's currency.
That's in today's currency.
In today's currency. So it's 35.76 in back then currency, which is like, wow, that's a big difference.
$37?
No, $3,576. And that equals $65,000 ish today.
That's a lot.
It's
a lot, but I mean, murder someone over?
It's not worth
the
murder. But here's the thing: is like $65,000 for people that are just drunks all day.
Yeah,
They don't have much going. This is a big score for them.
I know. Root of all evil.
Money or
yes.
Italian?
Italian.
So wait, we're only on one of 20.
This is the first
possibly.
attempt.
We haven't even started.
The
attempted murders.
take
We
your
haven't even
time,
started. So they agreed to go ahead. They began backslapping Malloy and giving him free drinks. So
the befriending thing is really
befriending
upsetting.
thing.
That's where you lose me.
yeah, it's
It all made sense up until that. This whole time I'm like, how can we do this to Mike? Yeah.
Our own Iron Mike.
Mike, if you're listening, we don't mean it. All right. Or no, we do mean it. I'm just kidding.
Oh, no. Why'd you look at me? He made the joke.
I didn't make such a thing.
Okay. Michael Malloy, who was accustomed to obviously getting rushed out of places because of his lack of funds, he was like pumped. He was like, okay, like this place is welcoming me in. They're giving me tons of free drinks. And they actually they gave him a petition to sign that would help Tony Marino run for local office. And he was like, yeah, I'll sign it.
Yeah, this guy seems like good.
Yeah, he's going to be mayor, huh?
He's not and also, I mean, Michael Malloy was hammered 100% of the time, but also doesn't seem like the brightest bulb.
Okay.
And what he was actually signing was not a petition to help Marino get elected for mayor. He was signing the life insurance policy from Metropolitan Life that would sign over all of his shit.
Right.
Yeah.
How can you be that drunk all the time?
I don't know. I mean, and to make it to that age too, because he was like about 50 or so, like that is.
Well, he makes it through everything. Yeah.
But that we haven't even scratched the surface. But that alone, he should be dead. But that's why I don't understand the human body, because you can work out every day, never drink a drop, and then just fucking keel over from an aneurysm or something. This fucker is sleeping on his face, homeless, drinking moonshine 24/7. Healthy as a horse.
It's all
I know.
random.
Yeah, it's so random. So, okay, so we're going to get into the first of the 5 murder attempts. So Malloy was in a pretty bad state to begin with. Go figure. And so Marino was like, okay, we're just going to keep filling his glass. And so, like, maybe he'll drink himself to death. So he drank for 3 straight days. And he kept passing out. And Marino kept going over and, like, seeing if he was still breathing. So it's not working. They're like, okay, our original plan to just, like, simply have him drink himself to death is not working out. So then they start to up the ante. So Marino and his pals, they start to spike his drinks with turpentine, antifreeze, horse liniment.
That can't be good.
I don't know what the fuck that is, but it doesn't sound good. And rat poison.
All 4.
All 4.
Okay.
And that doesn't take you out.
It didn't take him out. It
Nothing
seemed
could
to
live
have
in
like
that body at this point.
It seemed to have like no effect.
It made
on
him stronger.
Yeah, like literally.
That's amazing.
I know. So then they went down and they bought methanol, which is like wood alcohol, which is like distilled from wood, and it's supposed to be like extremely small amounts of it could cause like blindness.
Yeah, blindness.
Like, it's fucking crazy. And so they kept like they would wait for him to drink a few shots of whiskey, and then they would literally switch it out for shots of pure 100% wood alcohol. And he didn't notice.
He was like, this is good.
He happily swallowed it, and he kept coming back like night after night and would do this for like at least like a week or so. And he just wasn't noticing. Like, what the hell? Does he like even have a liver at this point?
Well, I mean, what's going on inside his body?
I don't know.
Is it just processing this? That can't. I mean, at a certain point, is he even drinking water? No one's ever. Does he ever drink water or have a sandwich? I don't understand.
Well,
any vitamin C? Where's his vitamin C coming from?
I'll get into a sandwich later. This is that part is fucking foul. But spoiler alert. But so he kept drinking it, and then one night he fell to the floor unconscious. But they were all like, yes, and then they went down and he started to snore, and then he woke up hours later and he was like, can I have some more alcohol?
God.
I know. It's like the most insane thing in the entire world. Okay.
So this is all over the process of a week.
Oh, of a week, yeah.
He had just been poisoned like 20 minutes ago.
He's continuously being poisoned.
Yeah, but you're talking about like straight up rat poison.
Rat poison.
And then the wood alcohol.
Antifreeze, all that shit, yeah.
Jesus.
And they weren't even like, it's not even like they were mixing it with his drinks. It was just like straight up wood alcohol. Isn't that crazy?
That's disgusting.
Okay, so then the second thing that they decided to do is that they noticed that sometimes he would come in and like at the end of the bar, this is fucking disgusting. There would be sardines, oysters, and like just like assorted meats.
Like that was there instead of like mixed nuts?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so sometimes he ate that. And so, oh God, this is disgusting. So the murder trust decided to poison his food as well. So Malloy was given oysters that had been marinating in denaturated alcohol, which is basically like methylated spirits, which is like poison basically, for a couple of days. Oof. One by one, he ate all of them. I don't know how many they are, but all of them sounds disgusting. And then he also did shots of wood alcohol in between each one.
He was chasing with wood alcohol.
He was chasing these like distilled oysters with wood alcohol.
Wow. And then a little lime. A little lime after all that.
Yeah. Kumamoto's. Yeah. The fancy ones from the West Coast. Yeah, I'm sure they were fucking, oh my God, it's so gross. You know what I hate? I hate like oyster shooters. Why would you ever want to do that?
What's an oyster shooter?
I don't know.
Oh. It's an oyster in a shot glass with tomato juice and vodka, and then you do the whole thing. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, that's not good.
None of that sounds good.
No.
But he was doing this with wood alcohol.
He was doing this with wood alcohol, basically.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But he didn't. The sources claim he just kept burping a ton and then kept drinking.
Jesus. Iron Mike.
Iron Mike. I don't call him Iron Mike for nothing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, this one's even worse. Okay, so...
These all count as one attempted murder, though, right?
No. That's like the second one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, I guess we're on the third one, I guess.
Okay. Fair
First
enough.
was trying to drink himself to death. The second one was poisoning. Then there was the wood alcohol. And now there's the food poisoning.
Got it. Okay.
And then I'm going to get into another food poisoning. So then Marino sort of upped the ante because he was like, okay, none of this is working. This is fucking insane. Is he even human?
Yeah.
So He let an open tin of sardines rot for a few days. Yeah. And then he prepared a sandwich for Malloy seasoned with broken glass.
No.
Carpet tacks.
What is that?
I assume like little tacks you put in your wall.
Oh, I thought TAX. I was so confused. Yeah. Okay.
That monster.
And finely ground shavings from the sardine tin in the sandwich. Yeah.
So broken metal.
Broken metal, broken glass, and sardines in between. Rotten sardines in between two white pieces of bread, I assume.
And to ask what might be an obvious question.
The bread was very fresh.
It was fresh. From the Italian bakery.
I was thinking the French guy. Why can't they just shoot him, or why can't they just beat the crap out of him?
Because it has to be an accidental death.
Or natural.
But do you think that the medicine was this bad that all this stuff would be in his system and they'd be like, that was an accident?
They don't have an autopsy.
I don't think that they know that back then.
They would have to see like a knife in his chest and be like, well, it was a knife.
and they're sort of thinking that no one's really going to perform an autopsy on like to that scale because they're like, he doesn't even have anybody in his life that would do that.
Fair. But if it's something as obvious as a knife or a bullet wound, okay.
Yeah, exactly. And it could be so like easy to be like, oh, he's hammered. He must have drank that by accident. He doesn't even fucking know. You know what I mean?
I could see these people getting so frustrated though that they would just
stab him
just to see if he's really impenetrable.
Well, I guess you could just break his neck until he tripped and hit his head on a bar stool, $1 Million Baby style.
You've thought about this, yeah?
Yeah, listen.
Well.
My little makushla. Was that the word? You ever saw $1 Million Baby?
No.
You just know the
I
ending.
That happens, yeah.
Okay, got it.
You know what's funny is that I have seen $1 Million Baby and I don't remember that happening.
Stopped it after she won the championship and was like, "This is basically Rocky IV." Yeah.
I think I probably fell asleep in that movie too.
Ooh,
I've never seen a full movie.
It's a sad ending, but you usually sleep in the middle, right?
Oh, because she's always drunk.
No, but in Parasite, which we've referenced before.
I don't know. Depends on the movie, I guess. Sometimes I wake up at the credits and I'm like, oh, yeah.
Oh, great stuff, everyone.
Yeah. And then $1 Million Baby wins the Oscar and you're like, deserved it. Yeah.
Great movie.
Oh.
You fall asleep at Parasite too. You fall asleep at Best Picture winner.
Exclusively.
That's how they test them. They just have me as the audience and then they run all the movies and whichever one I fall asleep to, they're like, all right, that's the winner for this
That's
category.
boring enough for Best Picture. Yeah. Nomadland, she is out.
How did you fall asleep during Argo? I mean, you're on the edge of your seat.
Schindler's List. She's out for 4 hours.
I would get good sleep at Schindler's List, I think.
All right. What's the next thing? Oh, he adds the sandwich.
He eats the sandwich. By all reports, they like interviewed other people at the bar. They interviewed bystanders or whatever. This is all from like court reports. He ate the sandwich. He had no fucking idea any of that shit was in it. Which I'm like, how do you not know that?
He has no taste but
He has no taste. I mean, come on.
He has no taste.
This guy is trash.
But yeah, he was none the wiser. And then apparently, according to a lot of accounts, he ate the sandwich in its entirety. And then he was like, can I have another one?
How can you feel bad for this guy?
I don't know. It's so sad.
It is super sad.
How could you feel bad for which guy? My sweatshirt's
What's
inside
going on
out.
here? You're wearing inside out?
Yeah, it's inside out. What feel bad for who?
Him.
The Marino or the...
No, the drunk.
Why don't you feel bad for him? He's totally the victim, no?
Yes, but I know addiction is actually a disease. God bless him. He can't help it. But he's so drunk that he is actively eating and drinking poison, not even hidden poison.
Wait, I thought it's so obvious we're on his side and not the killer's. Did I miss something?
On the killer's side, but
well, you were there 2 seconds ago, being like, "Well, maybe if they break the neck."
No. I'm just saying that they could have done it an easier way, and I'm just saying, like, it's like, come on.
Well, it's insane.
I'd like to think me at my drunkest, I still would have known I'm eating broken glass.
I think we would.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think.
Yeah, I don't like relate to any of these characters in the story.
Marino is definitely Max.
All I'm saying is it makes sense.
All right, so now the gang is getting desperate. They're like, okay, the insurance premiums are getting high.
This feels like an episode of Always Sunny.
It really does. It really does.
The gang tries to kill Frank.
And so, like, even though they're giving him all this other shit, they're still giving him whiskey, and they're like, this is becoming expensive. Like, this guy's drinking us out of house and home, like, with our regular supply.
That's a fun phrase.
Yeah. And then, so by the time it was winter, they took an inebriated Malloy to a snow-covered Crotona Park. Do you know where that is? I guess it's in the Bronx somewhere. I don't know. About a half mile from Marino's speakeasy. So they dumped him on a park bench, ripped open his clothes, and drenched him with 5 gallons of water. So they tried to do the same thing as they did to that other homeless lady. But to Marino's surprise, he found Malloy in the basement of his speakeasy the next day complaining of a chill. So he basically walked back to the speakeasy and was like, man, I don't know how that happened, but I'm freezing.
This whole thing actually does sound like a comedic premise. I mean, I know it's very upsetting, but I'm sure it's been done before as like the thing where the person can't die no matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also
like
a horror
Frank
movie.
from Shameless. That's what I'm picturing right now. You know, he just like keeps showing up like a fucking... He just keeps coming back.
Cockroach.
Yeah.
There is something...
I feel like there's a direct reference I'm missing. But yeah.
He's Home Aloneing him.
He's...
You know Macaulay Culkin keeps trying to murder those people?
Good movie. Adorable kid.
No, I think I agree with you, Ben. I don't agree with you when you said that you're glad that it happened to him, but...
Yeah, that was weird.
That was weird when you said that. But
what's the point of cutting that part out if you're just going to mention it again?
No, I do think it's like... It's very sad to think about.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. So, anyway, there's been multiple attempts on his life
And
by
he's
now.
still alive now? Today?
No.
Okay.
Oh, you know what it's a little like? Austin.
What is it like?
Will Ferrell and Austin Powers. The I'm very
my
badly
arm.
burned. Yeah.
Smells like chestnuts or something.
That's where I've
what
seen
it
this story
is.
before.
Will Ferrell in brown face wearing a fez in Austin Powers.
Oh my God. Alrighty. So none of them, obviously all these attempts, like they didn't even bring him to like the brink of death. Like they were not killing him. They weren't even getting close. So they were like, all right, we need to take some more brutal measures. So to your point, they're like, let's get it fucking going, you know?
Although if this isn't just a couple weeks, period, right? They're not really waiting around here. He could have had a tapeworm or something take him out in like if they waited a couple months. At this point, all the shit in his system, he wasn't going to he wasn't long for this world,
That's
right?
true. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, so the trust enlisted a cab driver named Hershey Green, that's where this guy comes in, to run Malloy down. In the dead of night, a drunken Malloy was placed in the middle of the road. But as the car barrels towards him, he managed to come up to his senses, even in the inebriated state, and jump out of the way. So after 2 dodges, so the taxi's like, what? And then it like backs up and is like trying to get him again. And he dodged it twice. The taxi did strike him and then backed over him.
And?
Then they left Malloy for dead. And there was like a passerby that like startled them. So like, I got to get the fuck out of here before I can check if he's really dead. And a week later, Murphy posed as Nicholas Mallory's brother and called morgues and hospitals in the hope of hearing that Malloy was dead. Because remember, that's the fake person that they made up for him.
Sure.
And there was no sign of him, nor had any newspapers made any mention of a man run down in the street. So they were like, And a few days later, Malloy limped back into his favorite speakeasy, Tony Marino's bar, and he got his free quota of alcohol.
What a story. What a...
I know, it's insane.
I don't think it's over yet.
What? I thought we were at. All right. Cool.
So apart from a fractured skull, which is kind of a big
Fractured
fucking
skull?
deal, and a broken shoulder, he was in good spirits, it says.
Did he go to the
This
hospital?
guy's a winner.
I know, right?
Take him down.
I don't know, actually. Whatever. So February's insurance premium was due, and they were like, maybe we should hire a professional hitman, but they were like, that's too expensive. So then they tried running another drunk down to cash in their insurance policies, but he survived too.
Maybe these guys are just bad at this.
Maybe they're just horrible murderers.
Yeah.
So February 21st, 1933, the gang finally killed Michael Malloy. So in a tenement room, they put one end of a rubber tube from a gas light into his mouth, wrapped the towel tightly around his face, and then poisoned him with carbon monoxide.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, I mean, that will do the trick.
That'll do it.
And then they got a friend of theirs, a crooked doctor who forged a death certificate in the name of Nicholas Malloy. So he's basically lying about the cause of death and saying, like, this is this Nicholas Malloy, even though we know it's fucking Michael Malloy.
Okay.
There's a lot of people in on this. I can't imagine that they would make anything.
In the kitchen, yeah.
I know, right? Anyway, they only received an $800 payout from the Metropolitan Life Insurance, and then everything began to fall apart. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Joke's on them.
Yeah, right? Maybe it wasn't like long enough that they had the policy out or something. They should have just waited and let him fucking die. And then everything began to fall apart in the murder trust when they tried to collect the insurance money. To legitimize the claim, Prudential's insurance agents asked to see the body, but when Pasqua said the body was already buried, the insurance company called the authorities. So then now they're like, oh, fuck.
Oh, they're going to get caught?
Oh, yeah.
Great. Oh,
yeah,
good.
She said there were interviews this whole time.
There were...
How do you think we got details about
like
this?
court interviews and...
Yeah, but like... Okay. I'm supposed to pay attention the entire time when I'm in this seat. You crazy? I'm drunk.
So May 1933, Malloy's body was exhumed, and there's a bunch of photos online of his body exhumed. I'm like, why is this online?
The actual body?
Yeah, and he looks...
Can't look good.
It looks bad.
Yeah, no shit.
Yep. So the phony death certificate said that he died from lobar pneumonia. But obviously they did an autopsy and they were like, this
pneumonia
is
just really seems to be their default.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
They could tell carbon monoxide poisoning?
I guess. I don't know. But anyway, Green, who was not happy with his cut, started talking.
Oh, there's always
one.
He was the cabbie.
Yes.
Herschel
he was the cabbie.
Green. He was a late addition. And all
I
he
know,
did was
right?
back over the guy. Couldn't even kill him with a car.
I know. So police discovered that a homeless woman had died in Marino's speakeasy under suspicious conditions and that Marino was the sole beneficiary of her life insurance. So now they're like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
So they're putting two and two together. And then on a separate matter, like totally separate, I couldn't find many details on this, but Tough Tony Bastone was shot dead and Joseph Maglione was charged with his murder. So I think that they're all kind of turning on each other.
Infighting.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I take back what I said. This is good police work, what's happening right now.
Yeah, it's not bad. Before long, there was enough evidence to arrest the murder trust. And they appeared at the Bronx County Courthouse. First, they tried to plead insanity.
Oh.
But when that didn't work, they tried to implicate each other in the murder. And finally, they accused Bastone of Malloy's murder. It didn't work. And in July 1934, Pasqua, Marino, Kreisberg, and Murphy were executed in Old Sparky, the electric chair at Sing Sing Prison.
Jesus. Did Green get it too?
Harry Green was the only member of the murder trust to escape execution and was instead sent to prison for the rest of his life.
Because he's a rat.
Because he's a fucking rat. Yeah. So that's the story of Michael Malloy, the man who would not die for a really long time until he did die.
This is another good movie plot. If you really develop the characters. I know I say that about a few episodes, but this one
But I know you want it to be some sort of slapstick comedy.
It could be like a Parasite. It could be like a first half comedy when they're trying to murder him. And then a tragedy when the criminals
actually succeed. Isn't that insane?
That's a movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's a movie.
I'm kind of surprised it hasn't been a movie.
It has?
The thing about We Were Had is we put a lot of stories on the map. Lesser known ones. Black Dahlia. Things
Black
like that.
Dahlia.
Yeah.
Yep.
We gave a platform to the newer comic. Mark Normand. That was his name, right? We gave him a platform.
Mike Norman. Yeah.
That was nice of us.
Look where he is now. All because We Were Had. It's crazy.
Love to see it.
You love to see it.
Kingmakers. SNL over here.
In terms of Malloy, though, the mystery was not who did it. It was just why didn't he die sooner?
Yeah, pretty much. And I think the thing is Irish genes and crippling alcoholism for decades.
So I think the takeaway is that alcohol is good for you.
Alcohol is good for you. Yeah.
It was protective. It was almost like a warding off of evil. His constant drunkenness.
You can build a tolerance. I mean, that's part of the lesson
But
here.
how can you drink so much whiskey that you're tolerant to poison?
Yeah, that. And then also, how do you build so much so that you don't get like, what's it called? Jaundice, when you turn like yellow and your eyes turn yellow.
What about brain damage?
I'm sure he had
brain damage. He
I
might
think,
not have evaded, right?
I think he had brain damage.
Well, he had a fractured skull at the end there.
Yeah, and he was just like walking in, getting his fix. So.
Yeah, no, but I don't think he was getting his PhD while this whole
He wasn't
thing was
taking
happening.
SATs.
Yeah. Well, also, I think maybe when he got run over the first time, because your body is so like loose, it like actually helps instead of being like stiff. You know what I mean? Don't they say that? And like,
Yeah, you're supposed to just kind of
violent.
let it happen.
Yeah,
and then you
yeah.
get into a terrible car accident.
Right.
This is is this our first like medical mystery? No, not true.
No, I don't think so.
Well, a lot of doctors have killed people in our stories.
No, but I mean, like the mystery here it's biology. It's like a biology.
It's
problem,
a medical
right?
marvel. Is this our first medical marvel?
No. Well, I'm
Who
just
else was though?
Yeah, who else was?
the closest thing I can think. No, you're right. The closest thing I can think of is people who like see the afterlife or whatever. But a doctor is not the answer to that. A philosopher answers that or something. I guess.
Well,
both.
no, because that's science.
Ish.
Well, because they came back and they said it, but that's like what we could just be like that was a dream.
Yeah, wasn't that what we talked about in that episode?
Yeah,
I don't know. Who remembers?
You have to watch these fucking things.
Yeah. But yeah, that's crazy. I bet you if they just waited a minute, because all of that like tin and how can you survive eating broken glass?
Well,
Wouldn't
that's
that
what I'm
tear up
saying.
your
It's
fucking
like
insides?
just play the long game. That
Yeah.
guy was not going to make it.
Maybe our bodies aren't as delicate as we think they are. I don't know.
But that's what I was talking about, though. Let me tell you something. If you give me a broken glass sandwich, I'm not making it to tomorrow. All right.
No.
Yeah,
My
but
body
you're-
is just as sensitive as you
You're
think
weak.
it is.
Yeah. I mean, that's.
Give me a rotten sardine sandwich. I'm not making it to fucking tomorrow. That's disgusting.
Well, I won't take a
Yeah, is
single
he
bite
never
out of it.
throwing up during this
That's
entire
a good-
Gotta be throwing up, but I don't know for sure.
This
I didn't see
whole
any-
place has got to be
Amazing.
disgusting.
Oh yeah. I kind of want to go. I wonder if it's still a bar.
This
Iron Mike's.
Speakeasy?
Yeah.
That would be nice if they called it Iron Mike's now.
Oh, that would be cool.
And that's a good name for a bar.
Yeah, Iron
Yeah, I'd go
Mike's.
there.
Yeah. Or Durable Mike or whatever.
Their signature sandwich. Oyster shooters and have a glass sandwich.
That is horrifying.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Well, we were had.
We were at.
Good story.
Great story.